Costanza night. It is a big night to celebrate, but we hope that you do it responsibly. And in the Valley, don't drink and drive. You can always call JB Taxi, and in Pittsburgh, Yellow Cab of Pittsburgh, and better yet, get a limo or a designated driver. But what we're going to do right now is introduce you to a really good friend of mine. Grew up with this man. He is none other than Frankie Eli, and we're at the legendary Hollywood Gardens in Rochester and Brixton Brewery. Now, his father, Rocco, established this wonderful place in 1958, and for many years he worked it very hard. And his son has taken it to a whole new level with their brewing system. And before we go upstairs, we wanted to show you the Brixton Brewery downstairs. Frankie, tell us about this.
Well, we put this brewery in a few years ago. This used to be an insurance agency, and my buddy Zach, who's the brewer here, he and I were talking about maybe doing a brewery sometime, and I said, boy, what a great little spot would be where the insurance agency is. And I'm like, yeah, but they've been there for 20-something years. They're not going anywhere. I'm telling you, within like 2 weeks, they said they were moving them. They're up by the post office now. So it's sort of like it was meant to be. So we decided to throw it together in here, and we've been working about 3 years solid on putting this together. And we just recently got it all fully up and running.
So all of the beers that you brew are served on tap, correct?
Every beer that we brew here, we serve also here on tap upstairs at Hollywood Gardens. We do have a little tasting room that we have sometimes open down here, but everything we brew is available at Hollywood Gardens.
Now, before we go upstairs and show you some of the amazing product, I want to go back and talk about your dad a little bit. Truly a mentor in my life, and when it came to being a proprietor, and meaning he worked his saloon, if you will, he worked it. And I, growing up across the street, have a lot of fond memories, and one most important memory was him going to work every day in that white button-down shirt very early, coming home for dinner with his family, familia, taking a quick nap, and then back to ring out the register. Your dad's work ethic obviously has become a part of your life. But talk about your dad and his journey and what he did here in Rochester, and how this place was such a landmark for decades and a respectable one because of your father.
Well, he believed in family, being Italian. So, it was your family. This place was just an extension of that. It was not customers. These were his friends, his family. And he provided an open door to people that come in and respect one another and basically just show love. And he showed it back to the community and provided a lot of good social networking that I also think, is lost today in our social networking, not being as social as going to the bar and talking to the man behind the bar and exchanging information and ideas.
Well, let me tell you how he has really put his money where his mouth is. Not only did he invest a lot of money into the brewery, Brixton Brewery, but it is a rare bar because there are no TVs. So you have to talk some gentle music in the background, top shelf beer, and more importantly, folks, camaraderie, familia. So on that note, we're going upstairs to Hollywood Gardens. It's showtime right now with Frankie Eli and your Pratte Pack. Brixton Brewery, ladies and gentlemen, the IPA that is known as Robbie. I love the name, folks. Listen, Frankie, tell me about this.
Well, this is a West Coast style IPA, so we use a lot of bittering hops in it to get a nice, clean taste. And we also use some of the newer New Zealand Australian hops to give it a little bit of little zestiness that's sometimes lacking in some of the traditional West Coast American hops.
Let's talk about some of these beers that people would definitely recognize. Okay, Dogfish.
Dogfish Head, 90 minutes. They were one of the first to really start pushing the hop envelope on the East Coast for sure. And they have their own styles. They'll do kind of anything. And that is Voodoo Good Vibes. That's from our friends up in Meadville, and they now just put a tap room down in Homestead, and they do excellent beers. That's their IPA, Good Vibes, which we're big fans of the Good Vibes.
And one more.
And that's just a classic Bell's Two Hearted, one of the best IPAs in all the land ever been created in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I've been there twice so far this year, and they are products.
Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen, from Hooray for Hollywood, as in the Hollywood Gardens. Thank you, my friend. Frankie Eli, the best.